Right, welcome back everyone to Punches and Pundits. Before we start, like, comment, and subscribe to the page. And also, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure to download the episodes. And let's get started. UFC 305 literally happened, what, 6-7 hours ago. We slept a little bit. I don't know if you slept, but
Barely slept. Barely slept.
barely any
Yeah.
sleep. But here we are. And like when we were talking about this fight, this main event, I said, I think it's gonna go a decision. But imagine if, especially Dricus finishes Adesanya. I said KO. I said, imagine if he knocks him out. But brother,
Yeah. I did not see
fourth
it coming.
round
I did not see
sub.
that coming. I'm getting cooked as we speak on social media because I predicted Izzy would put on a clinic, would
Mm,
dominate him. Izzy didn't fight too bad, but Dracus
yeah.
was just a better fighter. He was
Mm,
durable, pressure fighter. He's like a guy. He's very still. Like, anything you throw at him, will not hurt him. He just kept going. Excellent wrestling. I did talk about if Jacobs wants to win, he has to use his he looked good on the feet as well, and he fought very, very well. Now, people are already kind of making excuses for Izzy saying he's had too much time out. Of course, that timeout isn't a good thing, especially at the highest level, because your competition, the guys that you were dominating prior, they're gonna catch up to you. But still, people need to respect Dracus. And that point you made about champions getting that 10% better, we definitely saw that last night.
yeah. I think yeah, I agree with you. I don't think Izzy against Strickland was much more to do with Izzy not turning up. I feel like that was a stinky
Mm.
performance from Izzy. And even in the
Yeah.
post-fight press conference, he was like, that's the fight that hurts me more. But he was just like, yeah, I got beat by the better man. And like for me personally, I know people, first of all, let's stop this narrative. Dricus is an elite and amazing fighter. Like the narratives that he might have had early on in his UFC career, let's throw that in the bin. We can throw that in the
Nah, it's
bin.
done now. People to
It's
respect
done.
put respect on his name now.
You have to
He's the
put respect
champion,
on
bro.
it. He's the champion. And I had it 2-1 going into the fourth. So I had him winning. So I was
Mm,
and the judges' scorecard, a lot of the judges' scorecards, well, they had it 2-1. The
mm,
commentary team had it 2-1. So if for people like even Izzy was like, I felt like I was winning the fight until I lost, like a
mm.
Kamaru against Edwards in Utah type
Yeah, yeah,
situation. It wasn't that.
yeah.
It wasn't that.
Yeah,
For
but in
me,
but in the moment, a fighter's obviously gonna say that. Do you know what I
no,
mean? It's not
I know that.
just come
I know that.
out scrap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So for example, Jickers for me was winning and he won the first 2 rounds, and then Izzy done well in the third. And I thought, do you know what? He might impose himself in these championship rounds. But if we're talking about the
Mm.
finish himself, I mean, first of all, no matter how, and we've spoken about this before, but no matter how tired Jickers looks, dude will not quit on himself. Dude will still throw bangs. Dude will still do that blitz. And
He
what did I
doesn't take
say?
a back step.
It doesn't
Yeah,
take
he
a
doesn't
back
take.
step.
He's a freak of a fighter. It's just unorthodox style, decent wrestler as well, and he can do it
More
well.
than
He can
decent.
strike, and
More
he's
than
yeah
decent.
more than decent. I mean, for me, the interesting thing about this was whatever Izzy threw, and we've seen Izzy hurt guys so many times.
He
Nothing
ate that.
was phasing Dracus.
He
He
ate that.
ate it, and he dog walked him towards the end, bro. He dog walked him, took him down, and choked him up, bro. Yeah,
And
man,
like,
it's crazy. And they're
it,
talking about taking his next fight, his first defense to Africa, against Strickland, because obviously Dana's already
mhm.
promised Strickland the winner of the fight.
I
But
just,
yeah,
I just heard,
it's looking good
I
for
just,
Dracus.
heard that, I just heard that his coach said if we go to Africa, it would be for the Izzy fight because it would be more deserving. So I'm skeptical. I don't think Dricus gets a South Africa card yet. Feel like one
Mm.
more maybe. Um, but yeah, just regarding the finish itself, what surprised me is like I don't know. It was weird because like Dricus was landing, but how quickly he transitioned, and this is fight IQ. You know what I'm trying to say? Punch, 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 boom. All right, let me drag him down straight away for the choke. He didn't play. 20 minutes
No.
into a tiresome fight where the pace is high, and he just transitioned to the choke, and like Izzy had no answer. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Mm.
And what I did say is that if it stays on the outside and it's a pretty kickboxing fight, just like it started to be in the third round, it favors Izzy. But if it's an MMA fight where the wrestling is involved, where, like I said, Dricus can get him against the fence, where can grind on him, can eventually get the takedown. Not that Izzy's takedown defense was bad, because it wasn't for the majority of it, but eventually that takes its toll. And Dricus is a finisher. Where is he? 8-0 in the UFC now. What like
Yeah,
like I
I
asked you
mean,
like I asked you the other day, who are we dealing with? Who are we actually dealing with?
you're right. If he's beaten Izzy now, he beat Robert Whitaker, who was a
Finished.
dominant champion. Izzy, who was a dominant champion, finished both of them. He's fighting Strickland next, and if he can get Strickland on his record, 3 former champions back to back.
We already had Strickland.
You no, has he hasn't beaten Strickland yet, the Dracus.
Yeah, it's just Strickland, bro. That's how he won the belt. So he's got Strickland.
Oh,
He's
what am I talking about? Yeah, so
yeah.
he has beaten Strickland. What am I on about?
Just if he
Yeah, because I'm
finishes,
thinking he's gonna fight Strickland again. So if he beats Strickland twice,
Mhm.
he's beaten Robert Whitaker, he's beaten Izzy, 3 champions back to back, and 2 wins over Strickland, who's also a former champion. You have to put it out there, bro. I don't care about defenses. Yeah, you've got to put it out there.
resume.
One of the best fighters in middleweight history.
The legacy is crazy, and like
Alexis there, man.
only man to ever finish Whitaker and Izzy. That's not a
Bro,
joke
he's a
either.
Hall
If
of Fame
you,
already. He's a Hall of Fame already. Hall of Fame
which is
already.
mad.
So in terms of what's next for him as well, I was thinking. Obviously, we've got that Whitaker. Obviously, we've got the Strickland fight that's already been confirmed, but we've got Whitaker and Chimaev on the horizon. If
But did you
Chimaev
see
wins that
Pereira?
fight, Alex Pereira was like, he's interested in going back down. He said, no, you can wait at 205. When I beat Strickland again, or after my next win, he'll go up to 205. I don't want him to go up to 205 until we see the winner of Chimaev and Whitaker, especially if Chimaev wins, because in the UFC you have to make a decision. Izzy's next fight can't be for the belt. Izzy's going to want a
No.
quick turnaround. He wants to get back on the win column, right? He can't sit out again. So the UFC might make Izzy versus Chimaev if Chimaev wins, because that's a fresh matchup. You can't do Izzy versus Whitaker for a fight, like a contender fight. Do you know what I mean? They've already fought twice. There's no appeal in that fight. You've got a few fights coming up. I mean, you saw the other day there was a Allen and what's his
Vittori got
name?
cracking. Yeah.
Vittori had a little scrap. So that might be you get me. There's a few options at middleweight now. Middleweight's looking exciting, but I do not want to see Dracus go up to 205 until we see the winner of Chimaev and Whitaker. I
I'll
think
be honest.
Chimaev has a few things to say about that.
If Hamzat wins, he doesn't fight again until he fights for the belt. I mean, that's a guarantee in my book. If he beats Whitaker,
Yeah, but
he will
he
not
can't
fight
talk
again.
like that though. I know, but he can't talk like that because his career stop-start. He wins, then he goes missing. Do you know what I mean? It's like he needs to have a few wins, and Izzy needs a matchup. Because think about it, Izzy's kind of run out of fights because he's fought everyone. Yeah, he lost to Strickland, he lost to Draco, so he can't fight them again. Those two are going to fight each other. He beat Whitaker twice. He's beaten Costa. He's beaten Vittori. He's beaten everybody. So he needs a fresh matchup, and somebody who is possibly will be available is Chimaev if he can beat Robert Whitaker, which obviously isn't an easy fight.
I mean, an Izzy Chimaev fight would be crazy, but like,
Crazy fight.
yeah,
A very tough matchup as well.
yeah, I'm
For
skeptical. But yeah, regarding the Pereira thing, obviously, I mean, I'm not an insider in Pereira's camp, but making 185 for him, we saw, and that's what Dricus was saying. He was like, if Izzy can knock you out, yeah, it's a bad night for me as well. Like, if Dricus touched Alex's chin at 185, I'm not saying if they fought at 205, but that's a real weight cut. And I think Izzy knocking him
I mean,
out was partially due to him being too aggressive and being too overconfident, but also his chin, that's a real weight cut. So I don't know, but if the UFC are down for that, Strickland's getting bypassed though. I'll tell you that now. If
yeah, I
Pereira,
mean,
he fights in October,
yeah,
early October, if he smokes Roundtree and is like, right, I want
Which he
Dricus.
probably will. Which he probably will. You're right. He probably will. They could do the Dracus. I don't know at the end of the year, but he can't have another quick turnaround. How many fights would that be this year if he has another quick turnaround before the end of the year after the Roundtree
That
fight?
would be, what
What,
would that
5 fights
be?
this year? 4 fights this year?
Jamal was Jamal Hill is first. 300 is first of the year.
Yep. Yep. That was 2024.
Or the Yuri one wasn't this year, no. It was 2023.
Yuri 2. So and yeah, so the third fight would be Roundtree. And if you can add a fourth fight, that's too much. When was the last time we saw a champion fight 4 times in a year in the UFC? I can't remember that.
I mean, Izzy must have been close at some point during his reign, but yeah, no, it's mad. But Dricus, he's he's special, bro. He's special. He's a special guy. He's
Dracus,
a
no,
fire.
yeah, he is. He is. He's a very good fighter and still very underrated. And even me, I predicted him to lose. I was talking about is this, is that. Dracus is a serious operator as well, and it's not just the heart and the willpower. He's got a
It's
lot
a
of
skill.
skills as well to back it up. He's got
Yeah.
skills. You know,
Mm.
he just has a bit of an odd style. But if you remember a prime Tony Ferguson, he didn't
Mm.
have the most fundamentally sound style. Where, do you know what I mean? He was a bit reckless as well, but it was measured.
Mm.
And so when he's fighting the way he's fighting, it's all about that pace and that pressure. He's got excellent conditioning. He's got solid chin, and he can do it all: strike, grapple. He's a nightmare
Yeah.
matchup for anybody.
His blitz is a sight to behold, bro. He always
Mm,
he lands that blitz, and for such a
mm,
big guy, like when he just and bang, he just lands a punch. Like it is mad impressive, and like
yeah.
as
I mean,
much
you've got
as
to
when
remember he used to be a welterweight back in the day, so
yeah,
that's probably where he still gets that
which is
speed.
which is mad,
Yes,
which is
yes,
mad.
mad. But you see guys that move up from welterweight to middleweight, they do have a bit of speed on the
Yeah,
natural middleweights.
Yeah, yeah,
Whitaker, there's quite a few of them.
yeah, and but yeah, even in the commentary they were saying like as he looks tired and he looks like he's on the verge of like starting to lose the fight, but
Mm.
he's defensively sound.
No, he's
When have
solid.
we actually saw him do the chicken dance?
Mm. Not yeah.
Not be tired, but be
Mm.
buzzed off to the point where it's like
No,
he
never,
looks like he's about to feel. We
never,
haven't,
never. I mean, you've seen him maybe get hurt, maybe, but you
but not
don't
to the
see
point
him
where he looks like he's
away.
about to get finished.
Away. You hurt him, he's still gonna walk you down. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, he's a solid guy, but no, it's Dracus's division, and it will be interesting to see who he fights. I mean, he could fight Strickland, but you never know with the UFC. But let's
yeah.
talk about the co-main. The co-main.
I was, yeah. I mean, I was shocked. I got to be honest. I was shocked. That was one where I was like, throughout the week, I was very much Erceg, and I felt like within the first
Mm,
round, like Erceg was just downloading data, a bit like a Peter Yan sort of vibe.
yeah,
You know, when he fights, he's
yeah, yeah,
downloading
yeah.
data, then he starts
Mm.
landing, and man, Kai Kara France hits like a truck for flyweight. It's mad.
He can crack. He can
He can
crack. That's
smack.
one thing as well. He's probably one of the hardest hitters in those lower weight classes. I reckon he could even go up in weight to bantamweight and still have that power. He can crack. He can crack that guy.
Someone that's like
And
5'4", it's
that's what
mad.
I'm saying. And he's kind of fighting close to home. A lot of his teammates were on the card. So it is a thing where he's probably more confident going into the fight. Probably has all of his family in the crowd as well. He doesn't get that when he's fighting in the US. But it's a very interesting win, and it shakes up the flyweight division. It
Mm.
proper shakes it up because you thought Erceg was one of the top guys. He still is one of the top guys, but he could his
Yeah,
next fight could be a title shot now.
no, it could be, but like even just the finishing sequence, like with his little arms,
Mm,
it reminded me. Even Michael Chandler tweeted it. It was very reminiscent of when Michael Chandler fought Hooker, that
mm.
overhand left, and just enough to clip the chin. And he
And that's
said
how
it.
you have to fight when you're fighting someone that's taller than you.
Yeah,
You've got to kind of change levels a bit. But it was a very,
yeah.
very good win, very good finish. And
Pantoja and Kai Kara France, they've fought before, no?
I think
Back
they
in the
have,
day, I think
yeah,
Pantoja
they have, yeah.
definitely has a win on
Because there
him.
was a point where Kai France was close to a title shot,
Well, he
but
fought for
didn't.
the interim, and then he
Yeah,
got
but
finished by Moreno
that's what I'm saying. So he's always been
in
close,
and
but
around.
yeah, in and
But
around. But
you're,
yeah,
I
that's a
feel
good
like
one.
at flyweight, you're always one big knockout away from getting a title.
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm trying to say?
it's such a it's not a division where there's too many, especially now
Like
that
you have to go on a
Makaya is gone.
crazy win streak. Yeah,
No,
you don't have to go on a crazy
yeah,
win
you don't
streak.
have to know. But I mean, speaking of Hooker, you mentioned him.
Yeah.
Very controversial win last night
You think it was
against
controversial?
Gamrot.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go by social media, I mean, it was a split decision. So either way, it was a controversy. If Gamrot got the nod, it would have been like, why is Gamrot getting the nod? Do you know what I mean? But I don't know. I thought Gamrot maybe edged it. He had more
Yeah,
control.
yeah.
Do
I
you know what I
wouldn't
mean? It
disagree.
wasn't
I wouldn't.
controversial, but it was a close fight. But Gamrot really got the nod.
Yeah, I'm not. I would have lent it towards Gamrot. I do feel like the takedowns did play, but it's the visuals as well. Like he hurt Gamrot. Hooker did hurt Gamrot, and
Yeah,
but Gamrot's striking looked decent. I think that was the
yeah,
best his strikings looked.
yeah.
Like he was willing to stand until obviously he wanted to get some takedowns, but Hooker's just he's got that weird. You want to talk about zombies? Like if we talk about
Yeah,
zombies, just guys
he's
that will
tough. He is
march
tough.
forward, take
Remember that
whatever.
Barboza fight? Do you remember that Barboza fight where Barboza was kicking the hell out of him and he didn't quit? He was like, I was getting worried for his health. He didn't quit. And we just saw him fight a few months after that, like it was nothing.
Bro,
He's a
the
tough guy.
Dustin Poirier
That
fight
Poirier, yeah, the
in
Poirier fight.
brother in the
Yeah,
Apex,
he's tough, mate.
the footage that you see
He's a
after
very durable guy. Very
the,
durable.
fo- the footage
Insanely
that you see
durable.
after, yeah, the footage that you see after where he's going in the hospital, he looks like he's about to die, bro. So
Yeah.
this is like the guy we're talking about. He's not. Bro, he's on his run up until that Poirier fight. Yeah, he was very close to a title shot. That was basically a title shot, eliminator ish. So he's got
Mm.
skills. Like, Dan Hooker's got skills, but
No, he's got skills. It's just he kind of fights like a bit of a it's just he doesn't kind of fight smart sometimes. You know,
Mm,
if you bring the fight to him, he's not gonna take a back step. Some guys will take a back step, try and slip and counter. He would stand there back. I mean, he's got a kill or be killed style, but
yeah,
it seems like he's kind of changing his ways though.
but he was a big underdog as well. So even to
Yeah.
be come the third round in a close fight,
Yeah, but to be
and
honest,
then
Gamrot was talking about getting a title shot if he wins this fight, so it makes sense why he'd be the underdog. But I
mm,
mean, listen, they could do Hooker Barboza, Hooker Oliveira now.
yeah,
That'd be a.
battle the
Do you know what I mean? I
blondes.
don't think they fought before. But the blondes, and it's an interesting fight. A guy coming off a win for Oliveira. Oliveira can get a win, get his confidence back. Do you know what I mean? Wouldn't be a bad
We,
matchup.
I would favor Charles though. Still,
Yeah, against Hooker, I would favor Charles. I mean, you've got Paddy Pimblett, who's looking for a fight against the top guy. Hooker coming off a win. That'd be a good step up in competition for Paddy as well. You
yeah.
know, Hooker's definitely a better striker than anybody Paddy's fought. So I mean, there's a few options for Hooker, and it's good to see the lightweight division moving again. But
Hooker's
let's talk about the other fight. Let's talk about the other fight
what
that I
Jorginho.
was, that I actually predicted. I mean, I predicted
Well, let's
correctly. One of the few fights I predicted correctly in on this card.
yeah. Well, we don't even need to start about the fight itself. The judge, bro,
Yeah,
the
it was
judge.
madness.
Do you know how bad you have to score a fight? I don't
Mm.
know if it's happened before for the UFC to be like, right, that was so bad that you can't the rest of the night. I don't think that's ever happened. Has like people let us know like has that ever happened where
I mean,
someone
there's been
scored the
cases where
fight
a ref,
so
you see
huh?
with refs, not judges, not judges. You
Yeah,
see with the refs sometimes when they have a stinker, you don't see them again. That card.
30-27 to Ivasa.
Yeah, I don't know what he was watching. That was such an easy fight to score. It was a
Do you
clinic
know what I'm
from
trying to
Jairzinho. It
say?
was
It
a
was
clinic.
clinic.
Jairzinho's bro. The guy's got a good 65 kickboxing fights under his belt. So when I'm
Mm,
telling people this is not a good matchup for Ty, oh, but Ty's a striker, it doesn't matter. Jairzinho's got his levels above him when it comes to the kickboxing. I don't
mm.
think he landed anything clean. Maybe towards the end, or where he landed a few jabs or right hands, but nothing Jairzinho was worried about. So it was a clinic. There's levels, man.
Yeah, Jorginho, if it were that was the narrative before the fight. If Biggie Boy could just make this a kickboxing fight, stay out of range, stay out of the way of the two Ivasa bullets, it was gonna be sweet. And Trivasa, it's not looking good. Like, how many? What's the losing streak now? So like 4, 5,
Yeah, I
maybe.
mean, we've seen people get cut for less, but it'll be sad to see Tuivasa get cut. I can't lie. I want to see him
Yeah,
having
no,
a
no.
run in
I
the
don't think
UFC.
he's close to be. I don't think he's close to being cut. But like
Yeah, but
considering,
we've seen people get cut for less in the UFC, and the UFC is a bit.
quickly
Yeah, so
talking about being cut though, brother. Herbert Burns.
oh yeah,
I'm
man.
sorry, maybe I'm harsh. I don't think
Yeah,
I'm harsh, but this guy, bro, I can't watch him anymore, bro.
yeah.
It
He's you know what it is. It's classic hammer or the nail. Do you know what I mean? When he's the hammer, he looks good, but when he's the nail, yeah, it's
you see that
he
he takes
pulls
the
it.
easy
Yeah,
way out all the time, bro. Like
yeah. No,
just
it's just one
refuses
of
to
those, isn't it?
stand up. He just
Yeah,
doesn't want to.
that was probably the worst one so far
No, he's done
because
that a couple times,
he
bro.
refused to get up. He refused to get up.
He's done that a
You
couple
know what I
times.
mean?
Also.
I think what's saving him is that he's Gilbert's brother, innit?
Yeah, but come on,
If it
man.
weren't for that, he would have got
But
caught. But I don't think we'll see him again. I'll be real.
yeah,
Come
yeah, I
Monday,
think
he's gone.
yeah, yeah. But that Jenkins guy can leg kick though. Oh my gosh, he was
I mean,
serious,
you look at that card as well. There was a few guys on the rise looking good. Even, I mean,
brother,
I'm a big fan of Li Jin Liang. That's my guy.
bro. Nah, don't get
He
me
got dealt
started,
with.
bro.
And Jin Liang's the guy who's fought a lot of good guys. Like if you remember, Chimaev fought him when Chimaev was on the
Brother,
come up.
brother.
For him to do that, that was some good stuff.
Carlos Prates.
He's the
I'm
next guy.
talking into the camera. Invest your stocks now.
You have
Dude
to.
is
You have
too
to.
slick with the striking. Oh my, I was like, bro, I was getting a bit tired, yeah. Started the main card, 3 a.m., etc.
Mm,
And I was just like, damn, he is making. Leach never been knocked out in his UFC career, by
mm,
the way. So this is
mm,
a first,
mm.
brother. It was his nickname's the Nightmare. He's a nightmare matchup,
He's
brother.
just
He's
so
just
his straight punches is so fluid with his strikes. Do you know what I mean? It's like even when he knocked him out, he landed a few different combos on him. Like he rocked him, then he landed this combo, then he landed another combo, and even with the punch, Li Jinliang had a proper high guard. So you're thinking, how the hell is he going to clip him? And he just threw a punch just through the side and knocked him out cold. He's someone that can adjust mid
brother.
combination.
He's
He's very good. He's very, very good. It'll be interesting to
because
see who they match him up
you
against
even
next.
said, yeah, you were like, I'm picking against him because he has a post-fight cigarette. The guy's a smoker, bro.
Yeah,
The guy
he doesn't give a toss, bro. You don't give a
top
toss, bro.
15 for my boy Prates, bro. I'm trying to
He
say,
will,
I'm trying to see him.
he's a blemmer and he'll knock you out. Like, he's a proper guy, man. He's a
Do
proper
you know
guy,
how
man.
funny that is, bro? My man
Yeah, he
has a
doesn't care.
blem,
He doesn't care.
and like
He doesn't care,
when he
man.
in his last fight, yeah, he knocked out. I can't remember who it was, yeah, and then Bilal was sitting there and he was shouting at Bilal. But bro, I'm not trying to be funny. If he continues fighting like that, he could be top 5
Mm-mm.
soonish. Because Li
Yeah.
Jinliang, cool, he was away for 2 years, but you wouldn't say he's too far from a top 15 caliber opponent, innit? Like,
Nah.
I'm trying to say, and I
Nah.
don't
Li
think it
Jinliang
was.
at one point was fighting the best guys, though. It's just he's been a bit stop and start. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but bro, like, I don't know. Give Prates a top 15. Let's see where he's at in the welterweight
Mm.
division. That's a Shark Tank division. There's a couple man
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But if I'm anyone fighting him, yeah, don't stand up with him. Don't keep it standing.
No,
Test his
no. He's.
wrestling because he will, bro. The long
I
limbs,
mean, they could give him MVP next. I was thinking about MVP and him. That'll be a step up for him. But still, MVP's been around for so many years.
yo, that
MVP against him, a striking matchup,
yeah, no,
and
but
he's not.
MVP
That'll
would
be a
he
good
wouldn't
fight.
take the fight. He wouldn't take that fight, but that down the line
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
a mad striking fight, bro.
that'll be
Do
a
you know
good
what I'm trying to
fight.
say? That would be a serious one. What about the rest of the card? Nothing else really happened.
No, not really. I
Um,
mean, Herbert Burns was on the prelims, weren't he? I mean, that was the
yeah,
only kind of controversy. The rest was pretty smooth sailing. It was
yeah,
a decent card, I'd say. Went
yeah.
well. You
It
know
was
what I
a
mean?
decent little card, and them ones when Dana doesn't even turn, which I get. Yeah, Australia's not at the end of the road, innit?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like, yeah, he didn't even pull up because I was waiting to see what he had
No.
to say, like in the post-fight press conferences and stuff.
Mm.
Actually, there was a couple more fights though. That Junior Tafa one.
Yeah, that was a weird one as well. A verbal tap, and he got up and then tried to
Yeah,
fight him.
the
It
verbal
didn't
tap
make any sense. That was a weird one. But it was a bad stoppage though from the ref, because how can
is
you
part of the
justify
rule.
a
No,
verbal?
no. It
Yeah,
basically
but
they
the way Tougher
clarified it,
reacted though, I'm not too sure if he did, but I didn't know anything.
but within like the ref would have told him in the back that a verbal tap, like you shouting or you like screaming in pain,
Oh,
can be
okay.
taken as a verbal tap.
Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right.
So like
Yeah.
it's not necessarily on the ref. It's
Mm,
he like obviously I get it. Like you're in a leg lock. Like it's not a joke. So you might
mm,
scream in pain, but you have
yeah,
to
yeah.
you have to stay quiet, bro. You have to just
No,
firm it, just grimace, and
yeah.
then yeah. Other than that, not too much. So
But
let's.
listen, there was a talking point though during the week that we have to
Uh,
cover, because my boy Ankala he's been getting done
that's what I was
dirty.
gonna say. Yeah, yeah. That's what I
The
was
fact
gonna
that
say.
the fact that they've announced Pereira and Khalil, at first it was a laughing matter, Ankala not getting his shot, but now
Yeah,
it's not
no,
even a laughing matter.
yeah.
You're
It's
giving
not.
a guy a title shot who just popped for steroids, bro. The guy popped for steroids. He was meant to
It's
fight.
not.
He was meant to fight Jamal Hill. He
Mm.
popped for he juiced up, bro. He popped. They removed him from the fight, and he's getting a title shot. How is that? Does that even make sense?
It makes no sense.
I don't know if they want Pereira to get quick or something. I don't know what they're trying to do. But it makes no sense. And it's not Pereira's fault. I'm seeing people go after Pereira, saying Pereira's avoiding. Pereira won't avoid anyone, but it's the UFC protecting their asset, because they know Ankala is a tough matchup.
Mm.
For them to do this fight, bro, this is one of the most one-sided fights we're ever gonna see, bro. He is gonna get
You think so?
cleaned up. He's gonna get cleaned up, bro. I was watching that fight, him and Anthony Smith the other day. I was just
Mm.
watching him. He did nothing special that fight. Smith was landing on him, bro. This is a 1 minute knockout, bro. I'm calling now.
Oh my gosh,
This is a 1 minute
like that.
knockout. This is a
To be
1 minute
fair,
knockout.
like I think
And he can
first of all,
strike, bro.
yeah, it it should have been the other way around. Roundtree should have got Rakic and Ankalaev should have got Pereira. That's the first thing. Yeah, that would have made way more sense.
What annoys me is you've got guys like Aspinall at heavyweight begging for a title shot. Please, please. Yeah. He's not getting nothing. And you're giving this guy a title shot when he doesn't. You keep saying, oh, Miocic deserves it against it. And Kalaev deserves it more than anybody in the UFC. Who's
Mm.
the most deserving contender in the UFC that deserves a title shot? It's Ankalaev. Who else? Who else
Yeah,
in the
there's
UFC right now? Ankalaev.
Bilal up until recently, but yeah,
Yeah.
Ankalaev.
Ankalaev has a bigger shot than anybody right now.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're not giving him a shot. Oh, this is nonsense, bro.
Nah, no, it is mad and like I you're saying 1 minute knockout. I do think Pereira finishes him, but I do feel like Roundtree's gonna bring the fight a little bit. I feel like he's
I
gonna want to
question
scrap.
his chin. I question his chin. He has been knocked out a few times. You know what I mean? I know he's got this nice kickboxing style, Muay Thai style. He trains out in Thailand. That don't matter, bro. You're fine Pereira, bro. You throw a kick, he'll left hook your kick, bro. Do you know what I mean? What are you gonna do to him? He's gonna clean him up. He's gonna clean him up, bro.
Imagine a
Mid kick,
world
he'll
where
land the left hook, and then
imagine a
he will
world
like,
where yeah, go on.
and then after that punch lands, he's gonna fight nervous the rest of the fight. That's what
So
Pereira does to people.
you don't see a dimension where Roundtree finishes Pereira.
I doubt it. Anything can happen in MMA, but he's gonna once he feels that power, similar to Prohaska, he's gonna fight nervous.
Say what?
Yeah, when he would
What?
land on Prohaska would just he'd fight differently because he doesn't want it to land again. And even
Yeah.
Pereira hasn't been kicked before. He's been kicked by better kickers. Come on, man.
Yeah, I can't lie though. Like, yeah,
Roundtree can kick. Okay, he's got that oblique kick. You think that, bro?
yeah,
Pereira's
that's
built different, bro. You think his leg's gonna bend back? He'll probably snap his leg on his kick. You
no,
know what I mean?
Pereira, like once he hits him clean, it'll probably be a chicken dance sort of situation, innit? I'll be real.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah, it's
and
a
then
waste
would
of.
you swiftly? What do you think about the rest of the card, though? Do you know?
Yeah, I
Did you
mean,
see?
I know there's a few fights, but yeah, I can't really think about the top of my head. If you just say
Juliana
them.
Pena Pennington's the other title fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the only fight that she could take. Pay a whole champion. Good fight. Good fight. Bro, I think thinks that.
Yeah.
I don't really rate
Wonderweight.
Pennington.
Yeah, me neither, to be honest.
I
But
saw that one. I saw that one.
Stephen Thompson, Buckley, that's a good fight. I'll be a good scrap. I'll be real.
Yeah, good fight. A good
Aldo
step
back,
up for Buckley.
Aldo back against
Yeah. Oh
Bautista,
yeah. Yeah. To be honest,
and then
decent card.
it's like that's what I said. I said 307 is just gonna be, you're in between the Sphere card and the Abu Dhabi card. You're just gonna get obviously Pereira headlining. It's gonna make it a big fight. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You got Delete say
Yeah.
Kevin Holland, and you got Sterling
Yeah.
Evloev. Sterling Evloev's an important fight in the.
That's probably the best fight on the card in terms of matchups. Evloev Sterling. That's got high stakes. The winner could possibly get a title shot, especially
Yeah,
Evloev, who a lot of people think he's being kind of mugged off a bit, not getting the shot.
yeah,
Do you know what I
and
mean?
then you got
So yeah,
Kayla Harrison as well on the prelims. But
yeah.
anyways, that was our reaction to UFC 305. It's a madness. Dricus is still champion. Finished Izzy. Not only won, he finished him, submitted him. His legacy is getting written, and we are dealing with someone very, very, very serious. So credit to him. And then the rest of the card, it wasn't too bad, but the next one, the Sphere card, that's gonna be a
Boy Lopez is there.
Team Lopez against Ortega and Sean O'Malley and these man there. So yeah, that's all for today. Like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube. All the clips from today will be on TikTok and Instagram. And if you're listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure you download the episode and just interact with our social media platforms at Punches and Pundits. Get at us, and yeah, peace out.
Take care, guys.